not a normal thing, being inside a metal box under the water, upside down. Nervous is a very normal thing for people to experience.
It looks like a scene from an action movie. Underwater, upside down, buckled securely into their seats.
This is deemed to be amongst the most high-risk training, but realistic training for any emergency response training you can do anywhere around the world.
For thousands of workers, this training is mandatory. FIFO workers, TV news crews, even some government ministers must know how to get out of a helicopter if it goes down over water.
What these people have to go through just to be able to go and work offshore is this is the sort of training that they have to do.
Mike Gillespie heads IFAP's Offshore Survival Training Centre here in Fremantle.
We've had people that have come back here to do the training that have been involved in helicopter ditches, and they'll all tell you that if they didn't have this training, they would have been lost. Without it,
inside the world-class facility is this state-of-the-art simulator, a replica of the aircraft used in WA's oil and gas industry.
probably the best helicopter simulator for this sort of training that you can get in the world. It's a purpose-built helicopter simulator that was designed many years ago in Canada.
With classroom work complete, students await their final exam, their practical helicopter underwater escape training.
We turn them upside down, they've got to find their exit, they've got to remove their exit, then they've got to take their seatbelt off and get themselves out.
It's time to take the plunge and put into practice everything they've learnt in the classroom with instructor Dan Nucky.
We'll get people to brace, I'll give them an introduction on what we're expecting for each ditch and hopefully they carry it out.
The first test will be the easiest. As the water rises up, students take a breath and then exit through their nearest open window or door.
They think they have to be a Houdini, where the actual process is quite simple.
The next scenario, the windows and doors are sealed shut, adding an extra element to the already daunting task.
So it's really a lottery as to see who copes with it and who doesn't.
The average time submerged underwater is 15 seconds. Trainer Matt Sambrello says it's knowing when to take your last breath.
There are people that take a breath and just before they go underneath they feel compelled to take another breath. We see that in advance and we think, oh dear, but it's too late, you're under.
As the afternoon goes on, the drills become more ambitious and it's time to turn the students upside down.
It's not a thing that we're used to doing as human beings, being flipped around in an enclosed capsule upside down in the water.
Completely different, and you're going to be in the water, you know, if you're not careful. So.
Yeah, it completely changes everything because you float towards essentially what is the bottom of the helicopter rather than the top, so you've really got to understand how you're getting out of there.
In the event of an emergency landing, you won't get to choose the time of day, so if being flipped and dipped isn't enough,
there's these.
We put blackout goggles on some people if they think it's not extreme enough, they want a bit of an extra challenge.
Most were happy to take it to the next level. For others, it was already challenging enough.
Because it induces a lot of anxiety in individuals, leave your ego out in the courtyard. Some people are comfortable with this, some aren't.
Matt has seen some of the most confident swimmers still panic and says completing this kind of training is a feat in itself.
There is a certain sense of euphoria when they walk out that door to go to the showers for some people.
Today, it's all smiles for these soggy certificate holders. For some, it was overcoming fears. For others, it's knowing they won't need to return for another 4 years. Either way, they're now equipped with the skills they hopefully never have to put into action.
They still get worked up a bit when they're coming back again because they can remember it from the first time. They didn't enjoy it the first time and they're not looking forward to coming back and doing it again.